Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So, before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have any questions, any topics, any suggestions, if you want me to give you my take on any topic or any question, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, you can connect with me on Facebook by searching Back on Basics. You can connect with me on Instagram and on X by typing at Back on Basics. You can connect with me on Threads by typing in at Back on Basics or just Back on Basics. And again, the easiest way to know that it is me, it's because I have a picture, bald, beard, and a different maroon shirt. A little bit more red than maroon, and so you will see that in all of my social media outlets. So, let's talk about grieving. Let's talk about how we can support somebody that's grieving. Remember, my family and I have just gone through the passing of our dad, and it's been a roller coaster. I'm telling you, it's been a roller coaster. I've been going to groups that have helped me look at it from different directions, from different aspects. I've gotten suggestions from my support team, but it's hard. Grieving is hard, and especially when of course it's a loved one, right? Somebody that's close to you. Somebody that you weren't expecting for them to pass. And so, as a person who is not grieving, there are many different things that we can do so that we can support the people that are grieving. For example, we just need to be there, right? We just need to be there for them, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, every different way that we can support them so that way they can process the grieving. It's something that we need to do as human beings, in my opinion. Again, right? Showing empathy. When you lose somebody, it's hard. And it can last anywhere from days to weeks to months to years. And then when anniversaries come along, when birthdays come along, when holidays come along, it just rehashes things. So the more they process the loss of a loved one, the more they will separate the actual loss from the emotions. And you know what? And a lot of people ask me, they're like, Carlos, I don't want to forget. So I'm afraid that if I do that, then I'm going to forget about the person that I'm grieving for. And I tell them that you don't. What's happening is right now, your emotions and the grieving process are intertwined. The person is there. What we're trying to do by processing and grieving is separating, right? The person from the emotions that you get, not the emotions that other people get, the emotions that you get because of the grieving process. Remember, this is one thing that I've said this before in other videos. You can never forget a loved one. You can never forget a loved one. Let me say it a third time. You can never forget a loved one. What you're trying to do is separate the emotions that just kind of debilitate you, slow you down, or stop you. Those are the things that we need to process, right? We're not forgetting that person that we love so much. We're not forgetting the things that happen, the interactions that we've had, the trips that we took, the things that we talked about, the things that we had in common. the things that we had different, right? And so you're not going to forget. What's happening is the grieving process helps you not bring up these huge emotions that slow you down. Like I said just a minute ago, you don't want to slow down. You want to move forward, right? You want to make sure that you're processing things. You want to make sure that you're able to do the things that you did before. With addition, one of the suggestions that I give people whenever they wanna process the grieving the grieving process, and then they want to separate the emotions from the memory of the loved one that they lost, is to share the loved one with everyone that is willing to listen. Again, it's like whenever somebody shares their story of a loved one that passed, I thank them, because I also remind them that even though those emotions, right, that you got super, super huge emotions at the beginning are not there as much, it's not because that you're forgetting them. It's because, you've gotten to a point where you have processed, you have grieved, and now what's happening is that you are sharing that person with everybody else. I mean, it's amazing. If you think it that way, we share our loved ones with everybody else. We do that even when our loved ones are still alive, through stories, through pictures, through social media posts, through videos. But it's amazing. You know that? It's amazing that it's like we're sharing a little bit of our loved one with everybody. And it's amazing because they may have not known this person from that perspective. They may have not known this person or how much you cared about this person. Just let them know. You have to let them know. It's good for you because it separates, again, the memory of one with the emotions that you get, the intense emotions that you get. Eventually, the intense emotions they're not gonna go away. They're never gonna go away completely, but they will go to the lowest level possible. But it's great to share emotions. I mean, it's great for me to share my dad. And even when I'm sharing, some of his stories, some of the things that he did, I mean, it's amazing. I get teary-eyed still. I mean, he passed away in March. And so it is what it is, right? You can have the most epic memories of your loved one that has passed, but at the same time, it's still a loved one that you have lost. You have to make sure that you're always making sure that you're sharing their memory, their stories, their anecdotes, the funny things that they did. And so, or even the great things that they did, what brought them to you in such a way that you're grieving. Some people just don't grieve, right? But it's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel hopeless for a short amount of time. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to blame yourself, but don't blame yourself too much because you did not. I mean, there's so many different things that are gonna rise up, that are gonna come up. But you know what? I'm telling you, eventually you will get to a point where you accept the passing of a loved one. It may not. And again, You may not be able to still reduce the emotional effect of that, but at least you will be able to talk about that loved one, sharing it with others. I mean, I love to hear stories about others that have lost somebody, but they share them with me. And I thank them for that, because I've never seen that person from that perspective. Remember, it's kind of like when we're asking our support system to look at us from different perspectives, it's the same thing. And so, again, be mindful, right? If you're supporting somebody, be there for them, physically, emotionally, or just be silent. Just be there. You don't have to say anything. If little kids are involved, I would recommend, there are many books out there on passing, on death, that are actually geared towards kids, so that way they understand that that person's not coming back. And it's hard because, sometimes when you tell them, they don't realize it or they don't process it. So you have to get a book and you have to read that book to them and say, yeah, this person is not coming back. And it's hard. Again, it's hard. But at least you're helping them process. You're helping them deal with something that they couldn't comprehend at that time. So there's many different resources. Remember the website NAMI.org, N-A-M, or NAMI.org. And this time I'm going to put it up here. They're great. They support. They give you different things that can help you in the grieving process. Website also gives you the same thing. They give you resources for not just you, but your family members and your kids, if you have kids, or your cousins, or your nephews or nieces and nephews, and it helps. It helps. So I highly recommend that. So, but in the meantime, just be there for everybody that's grieving. And if you're grieving, make sure that you're processing. Make sure that you're doing. One of the things that I do is I write a letter to the person that passed. I write it. I mean, it's free writing. Doesn't have to be punctual or anything. Doesn't have to be APA formatted or anything like that. And once you write the letter, you fold it, you put it away for a day or two, then you bring it back up, right? You read it. And once you read it, then you shred it. What's happening is you're sending those emotions and those feelings out into the universe. I mean, it's amazing. It doesn't mean that you're going to feel better, but you are going to be way ahead in the grieving process. So, I'm here to help. Comment section, social media outlets. You can send me a private message. I'm more than happy to help you. I mean, I've gone through the grieving process. My family has gone through the grieving process. I mean, a lot of people have gone through the grieving process. I want to make sure that you are okay. I want to make sure that you're focused, right, and ready to do things. I want to make sure that you're processing, and that eventually, once emotions are separated from the person passing, you'll be able to share them with everybody that is open to listening. Till next time, back on basics.